Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Voldemort had been successful in killing the infant Harry Potter that night in Godrics Hollow, and how it would have impacted the wizarding world? Keep watching today's video to find out. Every single Harry Potter fan is aware that Voldemort was disembodied and fell from power when his killing curse rebounded upon himself after trying to kill an infant Harry Potter. He went into hiding and everyone thought he was dead and gone, and he was for the next 13 years. Everyone is also aware that the prophecy foretold that he would meet his equal. The Dark Lord discovers this and sets a plan to eliminate such a threat, and this is where the prophecy plays such an important role. So let's stop there for a moment and take a look at the state of affairs before Sybil Trelawney prophesied the coming of Voldemort's match. Now, the reason I want to take you through the current state of affairs is for a better understanding of the effect that Voldemort's current success is having on the Order of the Phoenix and the wizarding world in general, and also so you can imagine, as per the title of the video, how everyone would react at Harry's death. So let's look at Lord Voldemort. The Dark Lord is the most dangerous, vindictive, cruel and most importantly powerful dark wizard to ever walk the earth. He's done things that no wizard has ever dreamed of doing. Everyone fears him. His join him or die offer seemed to spark much panic. Some would remember a similar time to the current one when Gellert Grindelwald was at large, gaining followers and fighting to establish the wizarding world as the dominant one. No longer did he wish to hide who he truly was, and as bad as Gellert was, to me personally, he seemed more of a political fighter. Although he did awful things, it truly was in the name of wizard kind. Voldemort, on the other hand, had no compassion. He wanted total control. He cared only for himself and his immortality. The man took pleasure in killing people, in torturing them until they begged for death, and his closest followers were just as despicable as he was, and due to his immortality, he feared no challenge because he knew he couldn't die. As much as he did fear Dumbledore's power, Voldemort knew he'd have his chance to end Dumbledore's life eventually, and if not, he just had to outlive the aging wizard. It might have been a long wait due to how slow wizards age, but the Dark Lord had eternity. I think Albus knew that too. He could continue to battle Tom and his followers, but as his army grew larger, the Great Wizard was becoming more and more aware that the Order could never truly end the war. Voldemort appeared invincible, and the Order of the Phoenix was literally on its last stand, fighting to keep fighting, so to speak, and there were some who began to lose hope. Then Sybil Trelawney prophesies that the one to vanquish the Dark Lord will be born into the world, which finally gives the Order some belief that Voldemort can be stopped. And I believe that Voldemort failed to see that he will never be in control of one thing: the universe. It requires a balance. With overwhelming darkness there will be light. With the existence of evil, there will be the emergence of good. That is just my opinion anyway on the balance of the universe. Voldemort was never meant to discover such a prophecy. That's not being confirmed, but I think it's safe to assume that he wasn't anyway. And however, as the storyline dictates, Severus Snape informs him and the Dark Lord sets his plan in motion to destroy his apparent counterpart. And if we look at his return to power in the Goblet of Fire, Voldemort tells Harry that he should have foreseen that love was protecting the boy from harm. However, I believe he was speaking in heavy hindsight, and due to him not understanding what love actually is, his own arrogance led him to dismiss it. But once again, for the sake of the topic of this video, let's assume that he foresees that the power of love is at play in protecting Harry. With that being said, let's go to the scenario that night at Godric's Hollow. The Dark Lord arrives at the Potter's home. James has no wand, and as we know, Voldemort kills him quickly and easily. Knowing that giving Lily the choice to stand aside or die will trigger the protective barrier for Harry, he cleverly shouts at her to pick up her wand, and Lily, believing she's got a chance to at least fight him off, would retrieve her wand and duel him. With Voldemort knowing all along that as long as she fought back instead of willingly dying, then there would be no protection and nothing to stop him killing young Harry. And that is exactly what happens. He kills her quickly and pauses to look at Harry in his crib. Directing his wand at the boy, he performs the killing curse and then makes his exit. Word eventually gets out that the Dark Lord killed an infant, a young child. It sparks even more panic than before. What type of person does it take to kill a defenseless child? If his ruthlessness was ever questioned before, then all doubts were certainly erased now. Even his own followers, albeit aware of his plans, surely were surprised he carried through in the manner that he did. There were some who believed that he would have taken the boy and raised him to sit by his side, trained him to become his chief Death Eater, but Voldemort has destroyed his apparent equal before he could even walk. The death of the Potter family would finally draw the Order of the Phoenix, the remaining loyal Ministry orders, and many street folk into a staunch attack on the Dark Lord. This had gone far enough. It was time to end this war or die trying. Severus Snape, devastated that his master killed Lily without giving her the choice to live, as he had assured him he would, willingly stands against him, to which I could imagine Voldemort making a comment on how love weakens people, as it has done to Severus. Despite a valiant effort, the Dark Lord's army of wizards, trolls, giants, werewolves and many other rejected species deemed too dangerous by the Ministry would simply be too powerful to overcome. Many would die or be put to death, especially those in the Order of the Phoenix. I believe that at the very least Albus Dumbledore would survive to create some sort of resistance and continue to try to discover what it is that makes Voldemort immortal. However, with Voldemort victorious and many of those who opposed him now gone, he will go about finally installing his pureblood society, starting with Hogwarts. All those who are Muggleborn will be expelled and either imprisoned, killed, or sent back to the Muggle world with their memories erased, although that third suggestion seems a little too humane for Voldemort. He was very supportive of experimental magic. It was, after all, how he became so powerful, by pushing the boundaries of magic further than any other, so I do believe he'd imprison many Muggleborns for magical experimentation. And as far as new students, Muggleborns like Hermione Granger would never receive their Hogwarts letters. They'd wonder why they are different when experiencing signs of their magical ability, which could then leave the possibility of them repressing what they don't understand, creating obscurials across the country. I think that Voldemort would be satisfied with the domination of the magical sector and would not look to proceed to the Muggle world, as it is too unknown to him and many others. He would also destroy the Hall of Prophecy completely, ban divination and imprison or kill those who practice it. In his mind, eliminating the foretelling of any unwanted prophecies. However, although Harry is dead, there is always another one to come along, as the universe requires a balance. I know I've said this previously, and some people might not believe in things like that, but for the sake of the original prophecy, that's basically what it means. Prophecies are not created out of thin air. They are sent to people who have a connection to the universe and an ability to channel it through them. But before any of that even happens, it's going to be years before Voldemort's new equal would grow to such a strength that he or she can challenge him, and that's even if they are discovered, which due to the condition of the wizarding world under the Dark Lord's rule, looks highly unlikely. Peter Pettigrew, Order of Merlin tale was the very least of Peter Pettigrew. In first class, more commonly known. This is the life of Peter Pettigrew. Yes! Nailed it. And that is all for today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel if it is your first time watching. And if you're a fan of the channel and feel like you'd like to contribute, my restructured Patreon account is up and running, and in exchange for your contribution of a minimum of $1 a month, there are many rewards you can receive, like suggesting one of my upcoming videos, exclusive Patreon only videos for you to watch, and even one-to-one Skype calls where we can hang out and talk everything Harry Potter or anything in general. So please make sure to check out some of my other videos on the left hand side of the screen. My second channel, Game of Thrones Lore, is on the right hand side of the screen. And if you want to check out some merch, I've got a merch store on the bottom right, or you can click the link in the description below. Thanks again everyone, and I hope you all have a great day.